there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you're here today. We got a little late night edition. We are going to be talking Carlos King. Is he throwing shots at Mel? So as you guys know, he does these little Sunday motivational, speeches and all of these things and inserts, God or Bible verse and all these things, all of these moral high ground and self-righteousness and all of the things, ego-driven. And the title of this one is called Stop Blocking the People Who Were Sent to Bless You. So I'm guessing my interpretation of this is he's trying to say that he was the savior for Melody Cherie Rogers. He is the one that made her reality TV dreams come true. And now all of a sudden, everything is everyone else's fault but hers. That's what I'm thinking that he's saying, right? But we're going to listen to the audio, so you guys can have the receipt for yourselves. And then we're going to react to it. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay, let's listen.
Happy Sunday, raindrops. The message of the day is stop blocking the people who were sent there to bless you. There's people in life who have been hurt so much that they develop this bitterness inside of them, where the very people who were sent to them to love upon them, to bless them, to give them opportunities, they think everyone's out to get them, that they disrespect and block the very person who was sent to bless you, who was sent to heal you, who was sent to love upon you. Life has many challenges, and yes, everybody has experienced hurt to some degree. You can't let that hurt harden you. You can't let that hurt allow you to think that everybody on this earth is out to get you. God places certain people in your life to really, really be there to elevate your life, your career, your relationship, your faith, so many things. You have to allow people to show you the blessings they're meant to provide for you. But as long as you continue to think that everybody's out there to get you, to get something out of you, you are going to stay stuck in a place where God has no ability to take you out of it. He can, if you allow the people he sent to help you actually help you. Don't allow the pain of the past to harden your heart and prevent you from experiencing real love, real friendships, real relationships that can elevate your mind, body, and soul.
So that was Carlos King, you guys, his Sunday motivational speeches and all of the things. There were tears rolling down his face, you guys. I don't know if he got the ratings Sunday morning of how awful the season low it was the night before of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't know if that's the reason for the tears or what is happening, but nonetheless, we got to talk about this, right? We've got to talk about this, but here's my thing, right? And this is the thing that I just wish, and I always say this all the time on my platform, is I can't stand the hypocrisy, you guys. I cannot stand, the contradictions, the hypocrisies that when you are busy calling out everybody else, what everybody else is doing wrong, but then you ignore when you are the catalyst to a lot of the things that have
caused all of this negativity, that have caused all of these things to escalate beyond repair, and have enabled toxicity, have enabled dysfunction, have enabled a awful work environment to where it got to a point to where, you know, everybody now thinks they're in charge of everyone. Everyone now thinks that they're the boss and that they're running things, right? And you're so busy, you're so focused in on promoting your podcast with Teresa from Bravo. You're so busy promoting your new show that allegedly was Mel's original idea for Love and Marriage Huntsville, that is going to be premiering in a couple of weeks. You're so busy talking to every single reality star in existence, but the ones that exist on the OWN network. And so it's like, and you've even told the people in a passive-aggressive way, don't tell you what you need to do or don't do on your shows. You're not going to listen to anybody. Don't tell anybody about, oh, you're going to boycott the show or black out the show. It's not going to matter. The views don't matter and all of these things. But obviously something has happened. Something has mattered, because now all of a sudden you're emotional. Now all of a sudden you're in your feelings, but instead of taking accountability for some of the storylines and some of the behind the scenes things that you've allowed to overtake this show, now all of a sudden you're just going to place the blame on one person because the person has told you multiple occasions that they felt like they were being set up, that they felt like you knew all of these things that were taking place and chose to ignore it. Literally told you to your face in January in front of a whole bunch of people that you know, they wanted their ex-husband gone from the show. They did not feel safe with their ex-husband. They felt that you knew all of these things that were taking place and transpired and chose to look the other way. And instead of being sympathetic to that, instead of being empathetic to that, you decide, oh, this is a good time to bring out Sonny and Moses. For what? Nobody cared. Nobody cared about Sonny and Moses. And it's no shade to them, but here's a real moment where somebody is literally breaking down, somebody literally is in tears, somebody literally is upset that, you know, they understand what they've signed up for and the pros and cons that come with reality TV, right? But literally, there has to be a point where you're saying, okay, even this is too far, right? Look at what's happening right now with Real Housewives of Atlanta and all the rumors regarding what's going on with the peach holders. Due to some of the behind-the-scenes actions that's taking place that could negatively impact how season 16 is going to go for them, an immediate action is taking place, allegedly, by Bravo. But you, on the other hand, Carlos King, have enabled 7, 8, 9 seasons of tomfoolery. And then the moment that you decided that you were going to let social media overtake the show and let social media be utilized as storylines for these cast members in exchange for them not telling their real lives, is really when the show went kaput. Because you gave them an outlet to not be authentic. But then at the same token, if they didn't like what social media was saying about them, wanted to take it out on bloggers. But yet you're the same person who enabled this, enabled that avenue for the bloggers to be their storylines. But they're going to pick and choose when it's okay for that to be acceptable, for them to utilize it for positive in exchange for not telling us what's really going on, right? But there has to be some accountability on your part, Carlos, right? You're saying in this video that somebody is blaming everyone else for their problems and they're getting their own quote-unquote get back because of the hurt and pain that they're experiencing, but you're not being sympathetic or empathetic to the role that you may have contributed to their pain as well. Because if the rumor is true, and even you said this on your own platform, that Mel wanted to cancel this show, that Mel wanted to put off this show when she discovered right before filming it started that her husband was cheating on her, and wanted to take time away to see if they could salvage this marriage or not before proceeding with the show, you were the one who allegedly told her, no, this would be you at your most rawest, most authentic self. This would be real. This would be relatable to the audience for them to see this whole cheating stuff unfold. But you saw dollar signs, right? You saw dollar signs. You saw how quickly the ratings were going to go through the roof of seeing an active cheating storyline play out for the cameras and the rest of the cast not having to contribute anything but just give reactions and shade to it all. And you said, hey, this is going to be my gold mine. I am going to center the show around Martel's cheating on Mel and how often he's going to humiliate her, how much he's going to put this side chick on a pedestal. Regardless if he calls her a peasant or not on national TV, he's still entertaining her to the point that he has a side baby with her, right? All of that was okay as long as the ratings were coming in, right? And then you took it a step further, you know, to bring in all these different moms who all of a sudden had a beef with Mel out of nowhere. Instead of their own children, you know, coming to Mel woman to woman with what their issues were, they bring on mommy to fight their battles for them and literally lead to things that could escalate to violence. Just to, you know, defend their kid's honor, when their kid is a full-grown adult and can speak for themselves, right? But I am just missing where I am supposed to be, you know, following suit and crying along with Carlos King when we've been saying for a long time that the show's a disaster. We have been saying for a long time that the show needed to make changes, that the show needed severe casting changes a long time ago, and the show couldn't go on. Where were you when Martel was sitting there verbally attacking his wife on national TV? Where were you when anytime Mel is trying to convey her feelings and emotions about being cheated on and being disrespected and having a side chick call the phone, and demand that the wife put her husband on the phone to talk to the mistress? Where were you? How is all of that okay? How is somebody supposed to just deal with that and think that that's appropriate, right? Like I'm just confused as far as to the psyche and all of that and how you have made this, about somebody else, right? But they're supposed to just ignore their pain for the success of a show. But the problem is, if Mel gives in to your demands and just ignores anything that she's concerned about, ignores all of the years and all of the seasons that she's seeing herself being isolated, she's seeing herself being bullied, she's seeing herself being gaslit about Martel. She's specifically requested not to talk about her ex-husband, not to ask her questions about her ex-husband, but people still bring it up in scenes. And now, without this legal case, they still would have tried to force Martel upon her. And even allegedly tried to force Martel even after this arrest happened. Allegedly with the Lovers and Friends event, it was supposed to allegedly be an ambush. Mel has said to your face, Carlos King, multiple times that she's felt like walking away from the show, and she clearly is not promoting anything to do with the show this season, which for all intents and purposes, it's giving that she's not coming back, regardless if the show comes back or not, right? But nonetheless, you refuse to do anything to make the situation better for the show. I don't understand giving Martel this platform to just paint any narrative he wants, and he's the one who's getting arrested. He's the one that's getting convicted. All the people who are getting arrested on the show are getting angel edits, as if they're the pillar of perfection. But it's somehow everyone else's fault. It's somehow somebody else's fault that they're blocking their blessings, that they're blocking you saving them, that they're blocking you making them a reality star. And I just need you to make it make sense to me, because how is it okay for you to create all this chaos and now be upset that people are not responding positively to the chaos? There's a difference between normal reality TV drama And then there is a difference between somebody knowing how much negatively something is impacting somebody, knowing how much somebody is negatively impacting their mental health, knowing how somebody has to hire additional security in addition to the existing security that the show provides, in addition to the the therapist and everything else that the show provides, that there is still an issue because they do not know when their ex-husband is going to pull up at their house, is going to pull up at them on a date, is going to pull at them during their weeks with the kids to try to start drama, to try to start chaos. But you don't care as long as there's ratings, as long as there's drama that you can utilize for the show, and that's not the right answer. But you can't sit here and now all of a sudden that the ratings are at an all-time low, now all of a sudden you want to play blame now, right? And you want to cry and make it seem as though, oh my gosh, I've tried to do everything for Mel and I'm just not being appreciative. What? Mel's not giving me the kudos that I did all these things for her. Now she's mad at me. Now she's not promoting the show. And we need her support. We need the millimeters to watch. It's not enough if just the raindrops and the drizzlers just tune in. We need the millimeters to really come in and give us these views for the show to continue. And she doesn't care. She's ignoring us. But what about the times that she's given up on opportunities, paid opportunities, such as the weekend of the Super Bowl, to come in and work and come in and film until she found out it was an ambush of her ex-husband post him being arrested, set up for him to confront his ex-wife and accuse her of setting him up? Where was this same energy, right? So I can't, here's the thing. For me, none of this is personal, right? None of this is personal. We simply wanted to see Black excellence. And that's what we kept preaching here. That's what we kept talking about here. We wanted to see Black excellence. We wanted to see these cast members who allegedly were real friends in real life at one point in time work together to give back to the Black community, right? And not turn the show into a complete and utter circus. And not turn the show into complete clownery, right? We wanted real, authentic storylines and not real, authentic storylines being turned into foolery. But you guys didn't want to hear anything. You guys didn't want to listen. So all you care about is facilitating storylines that have to deal with somebody being a side chick or a side dude. And that is the same regurgitated mess that we're dealing with. And then people having the same arguments that they had months ago or years ago and never resolved, just to create a storyline, just to have something to film, as opposed to discussing what they're really got going on in their lives. But it's not, you can't just blame somebody else because they're checked out and they're over it. You can't, dictate how somebody is going to react if they've been on the show all these years and they had a different vision for what the show was going to be. And now it has flipped the script to where they're getting the Mariah treatment and everybody wants them gone and they're going to go through any lengths to try to get them off this show, and they're supposed to just accept it. They're supposed to just accept it and continue to play ball regardless of how toxic the work environment is, regardless of how awful they're being treated. And that's not okay, right? But doing these tearful, motivational Sunday things, like what are you expecting to achieve from this? Right? And here's the thing. This is not somebody, saying, hey, everybody's perfect and all this is your fault, Carlos. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying there has to be accountability here on all fronts, right? That there have been some severe contributing factors here that you flat out ignored, or that you, in exchange, saw an opportunity to get ratings and make money off of somebody else's pain. And now that they do not want their pain utilized like this anymore and want to move on or want the direction of the show to change, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now all of a sudden they're blocking their blessings. But it was okay when they were miserable and crying all the time and dealing with all of this nonsense. All of that was fine as long as people were tuning into the madness. But now that people aren't tuning into the madness anymore, now it's back to being that person's fault. But without their storyline, you don't have a show. Without your encouragement for them to pivot and focus on their pain, there isn't a show. Boy, all of this, all these theatrics and everything else that's taking place, like I said, there has to be some ownership here where you have to look in the mirror and say, listen, I could have handled certain things better. I shouldn't have let my personal relationships with certain cast members overshadow the success of the show. I shouldn't have let any personal negativity or jealousy or whatever I had, if I wasn't as close to certain people compared to others, or I saw certain people elevating compared to others, but those aren't the people who are willing to do the dirty work of production to give me the messiness that I want. So therefore, as a result, I'm going to punish them and make them the target every season. I'm going to punish them to the point nobody's going to want to film with them. I'm going to punish them to the point that they're so miserable and hurt that they don't even want to do the show anymore. But I'm going to flip it around to my followers and my audience to make it seem like they're the ones that's causing all the problems, that they're the problem child. But here's the thing. Let's say this is Mel's last season. Let's say she's done with the show and you still keep Martell there, right? Who basically has disrespected you time and time again, and you have zero smoke for, has called the show actors, has said that you guys are all fake, you guys are all getting called producers to tell you lines, to tell, whoever you're going to be filming a scene with, and tell you things that you say or do to make the scene more enticing. And you do not do anything. You take zero action against those allegations, but you want to punish the person that is telling you literally to your face and on the phone on multiple occasions that they're not satisfied with the way things are happening and the way that things are going. And you're taking that personally as if they're now being ungrateful. But you're not putting yourself in their shoes and looking at it from their perspective on how much more they have to put up with, to where they're left with no choice but to quit the show. But knowing that if they quit the show, so does the show effectively quit as well. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.